Hello, teachers. I'm going to cover Pear Deck, which is one of my favorite tools to use with my classes. It's really easy to install if you don't have it already. Within Google Slides, you would head to your extensions and just go to add-ons to get add-ons. And from there, you could type in Pear Deck and you'd go to install. So I already have it installed, but let's just say I go there to get add-ons and I type in Pear Deck. You can see it says Pear Deck for Google Slides add-on. Very simple. You just get it. It's already installed for me, but from there, that's where you would go to install it. So once you have it installed, you would basically go into your Google Slides to use that function. So within a Google Slide presentation you already have or one that you're creating, you would open up Google Slides and go to extensions, and then you would see Pear Deck on the list of your extensions right there. So for here, once you're there, you go to Open Pear Deck Add-on. I've already created my Pear Deck, but I'm going to show you what it looks like and how you add what I have here. So on this slide, I actually already have some stuff going on. You can say it says students draw anywhere on this slide. We have the premium version at our school, so we are able to draw. But if by chance we do not have the premium version when anyone is watching this, the other tools, text and choice, are still usually available for the free at this time. So text and choice are very much usable and easy to use. Number, I believe, might be free too, but it may be a premium. I can't recall. But text is like fill in the blank. You just type in any free response and you can see what students have given you. Or you will have a choice, which is like multiple choice, where you would pre-enter your choice options. So right here on this slide right here, it says draw because I wanted students to be able to, the draw feature does allow them to type as well. So there is a little text option. They don't have to draw, but some students like to. And it gives them a little paint tool that they can draw their lines to connect their answers, and I can see as a teacher once I go on to display what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick demo of what it looks like in action so that you can get an idea. But before I do, you can see this choice or this slide for me was a basically matching opportunity. So I could see how I could assess students with this to see if they were able to identify the terms correctly and get a whole overview and show other students as a class what the class was seeing, like what other students were guessing. And it continued to be this way. This one says choose an option. So this is a multiple choice slide. And you can see at the bottom here of the slide down here where I hope you can see the cursor moving around. It says this is a Pear Deck multiple choice slide. Your current options are, and then you can see down there simile, metaphor, alliteration, aphora, and I put those in. So this is, as a teacher, when you do choice, you would enter the options. If it doesn't say A, B, C, or D, so you'd have to type in whatever choices you want them to see. You're typing that in. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be something totally random. Maybe you have circles and shapes that you would include. It's up to you. But the idea is you're giving the choices, and then the students will see that on their end. And then there is the students write your response, which is a free option all the time. And that's just when you simply want to see what do they know without giving them any options, and they can respond to your slides. What's cool about these Pear Decks is that you can do this as a whole class, as a whole class assessment, where you're going over it and you're showing students responses, and they are shown anonymously, which is very nice. But you get that immediate feedback where you can tell students like, oh no, this one's almost there, it's incorrect. Oh, I can see a few of you guys just missed this one. And as a class, kind of hit those standards together and go over those in whatever you're teaching. But you can also do this where it's student paced, where you make your whole creation of slides. All the activities are there, but the students will go through at their own pace and be able to go next and then put their responses. And you as a teacher can later go back and review what they put. So that's also really nice. To do that, you would actually have to log in right here. So I'm going to show you that first because it's not intuitive how you go see your students' responses. So you do have to be logged into Google Slides and then open up your Pear Deck extension. Then over here on this menu, you can see right here, it says review sessions at the bottom. So the very last one, that's where you go to see where your students' responses are from your individual student-paced activities. So when I won't open this because I don't want to show any of my own students' data, but that is where you would go and you'll be able to click and open up the sessions and scroll through to see what they put. To start a lesson. So to start a lesson either way means to create like to go ahead and get that student paste link, or to go ahead and start the lesson in class. Either way, you're going to be able to start a lesson. So you go to start lesson, and when you're here, you get that option, student paced activity, instructor paced activity. So right now, if you did student pace, you can see like they would go through, you just get a link, you give them that link somehow, either through your Canvas, your Clever, your Google Meets, your Google Classrooms, your Zooms, whatever you use, you give the students the link. I use Canvas, I just post it on there. If I'm doing student pace and they've missed class, I'll say, here's the link to that class that you missed, here's the activity. Student or instructor pace is right in the moment, so you just go on there, your students get a code, and I'm gonna go ahead and see. Hopefully I get some fast responses from my, from my phone if I can log in. So your students will be told to go to joinpd.com, and you'll see that in the slide, so you don't have to remember it. It'll be there. So joinpd.com is where they go, and then it'll say enter a code. Usually there will be a code by now. My computer's going pretty slow, which is not typical. Up, you can see there's some difficulty. So this is not typical. So what I might want to do is just go ahead and restart my slide. It might be because of the webcam going on, but there is some difficulty. So I'm going to just go ahead and close out of this and try again, because it's, like I said, that's not typical to take so long. So it could be internet connection issues, or Wi-Fi here in this district, or maybe it may be Pear Deck issue. So we'll see what happens. And if it doesn't work right now, I apologize, and you just have to go through and trust me on it. The code pops up, and it's normally pretty easy. I can't believe it's having this difficulty right now, right when I need it to work out for you. This does not seem to be working right now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop again. My apologies that you won't be able to see that. We'll try a student paced version and see if that comes up. Again, I'm not sure if my computer doesn't like me using Screencastify and Pear Deck. Oh, this one seems to be launching. It might be a Wi-Fi issue, but let's see. All right, so in the student paste edition, it's just this is the link. You copy the link to share with your students. It will be copied, and you know what I can do? It's like, well, I don't have the actual link to send to myself, so even if I wanted to copy it, it's probably not going to work. But let's try it. Let's see if I paste that link over here, if I'll be a student, or if it'll still catch me. Oh, this is what your students see. So, how are you feeling today? You know, fine. And then it gives them their stuff. Okay, so this is like what the students would see. This is kind of working for us, so maybe it's a good thing that we ended up over here. So I can pick my color, I can draw. There is a way to make these. This is the sizer, so students usually don't know that, and they usually end up with this big one. So make sure they know that they can make those lines smaller, and they don't have to use a big chunky one. And this is how that looks. So then if I were done on this slide as a student, I can press next, I think. Ooh, I don't know. Oh my God, this is a good point for me to actually realize. There it is. It's hidden. They do have arrows. Okay, so there's the arrow. And you can see they have these options, so they could choose what they think and put it in there, and then go on to their next one. And again, they can do their activities. So this is what it looks like on the student pace version. If this were a live class, the students would still see this, only you would be controlling the slide going to the next, and you'd be able to show their responses and look at that as your class. So because that did work, I'm going to try one more time to see if we can do the instructor pace, just to see if it works for us. And maybe, oh, it looks like it might be working. Maybe we can go ahead and see. Okay, so here's what they see. Is whatever your first slide is that you're on, and we'll enter that code. I'm joined. Once a student joins, it'll tell you to go ahead and start. Like you'll have the option to start. I haven't joined yet. I have to do how I'm feeling still. So, and I had to pick my account. Now I'm there. So you can see it says 1 student connected. So you can see how many students have connected, which is great because if you know you have 15 kids and you see 1 or 3, you can be like, hey, there's 12 of you who have not logged in. What's going on? Let's get connected. So that's how you kind of observe that. And then you can also see here it has give students a link. So if for some reason this code isn't working, Join PD is not working, you can ahead of time get this link, copy it, paste it into your Canvas, wherever you want to send it, and provide that. So we'll start the class. And now that I'm that student, I'm going to go ahead and use my sizer, and I'm going to draw a line. And then as a teacher over here, you can see right here it says show responses. So you go to show responses, and there you go. I'm the only student, so that's the only one you see, but it shows you 1 student's response at a time. So you would have to scroll up and down to see more responses and show your class. But you can see there's no no one's name is visible, so it doesn't tell you who did what. But later you can go back as a teacher and look through your responses, and you will be able to see which student provided this response. So that's what's really nice too, is that even though it's anonymous on their end, on your response end, you can see as a teacher who did this. All right, so this is Pear Deck. I do think it's fun. There's some really great stuff. There's one more thing about Pear Deck that I recently learned thanks to another teacher. So I did not know about this feature, but now I do. And what it is if you go over, so I'm going to, this looks different than when we first opened up because the menu's there. So close the menu out. At this area, oh wait, actually it might be on the, oh, so interesting because I think I keep going right here to the discover part. Let me check this menu and see if it would be there. No. So yeah, so you want to go right. So the template library is where you're looking, and there's this discover even more activities. So go there. Within here, there's some pretty great things you can do as well. But what I like is this new feature called Giant Steps. And in here, you can make more games for your students to play in more interactive ways during your lessons. So there's general trivia, perspective and point of view, and this looks like Greg's. There's lots of different things. So if you go up here, it says create practice sets. I'll just go ahead and say, oh wait, let me make sure I'm doing that right. I think I am. But I think I chose general trivia as a selection last time. Oh, and you can create an assignment. But I don't want to do too much in here because this is like a rabbit hole that I can get down. But you can see it's giving like quiz type questions, and you can go through your class and they can play these as a game. I believe it's. Ooh, I wish I knew better which games you could play and how this works, but this is what I want to let you know, to go in here and check it out. Let's just say we start a live practice with this person who's already got their thing going. Oh, here's where you see your game options. Okay, so right over here, once you've created your set and you're ready for your practice, you'll pick between the big board, and it tells you this big board is a fun game show style team game. Teams compete against their classmates to earn opportunities to place tokens on the big board to win prizes and XP. It's approximately 12 minutes. Or there's a quick play, which is like 8 minutes, and it just says quick play is the fastest way to bring play into your classroom. Students work on teams and compete against their fellow classmates. So to me, it's almost like this Pear Deck is bringing in a Kahoot type feature where now people can not just as answers individuals, but they're competing as teams with their peers. So I found Big Board really fun when a teacher was showing it out to his math students. So it was really fun. I was placed on a team randomly with some students. I could see what their answers were, and I could see who was like helping out. It did show other students' answers. I think the names are anonymous on there too, but I can't recall for sure. But whatever the case is, this is another aspect of Pear Deck, but you do have to get into it by going over here to the template library and discovering. So discover, when you get to that discover part, go to Giant Steps and then have fun. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope people do engage with Pear Deck. It's a great resource, and it's really a nice way to engage students in their class learning. All right, take care, everybody. Again, oh, by the way, I'm Miss Muhammad if I never said that. Miss Muhammad. All right.